Hey guys, my name is Kemi. Welcome to the Love Show with Fuji Princess, themed How Do You Understand Love? Now, I just want to say thank you to Fuji Princess, aka Adawan of Orland. Okay, so let's get down to business. So I'm not going to bore you guys on too much on what love is, saying love is this, love is that, love is this and that, because I'm sure you guys have heard enough of that on either this platform or on the so many relationship shows you've gone to. Yeah. Okay, so simply put, love is an intentional act. Now, while teaching, pardon me, but I like using vocabs a lot. I love using words and defining those words subsequently. So, what is intentional act? First of all, what is intentional? Intentional means planned, deliberate, conscious, decisive, purposeful. That's intentional. Now, what does act means? Act means an action, a movement, a deed, or work. Now, if you join those two words together, if you put those two words together, you have a broader sense or a simpler sense of what love means or what love is all about. So, putting it in that way, that broken down way, we would say love is either a purposeful action, love is either a convinced, a deliberate or conscious work or deed. Now, that is love. Now, the similar thing here is, the thing here is that love is planned. It is an action. It's something you do. So, for those people that keep saying, I love you, I love you, I love you, and don't back it up with actions, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it the wrong way. Because love is not just seen in how many I love yous you can tell your partner in a day. It is also saying how many times you can practice that I love you, in a day. So if you want to measure, if you're the type that likes measuring your love, or how much someone loves you, you're the type that likes measuring that, you can see more of that in the actions. You will get a very perfect statistics when looking at it from the angle of the actions, because that is what love is. Love is an action. Okay, now the one God has showed us a perfect example on how to practice love. Okay, it's unconditional. It's an unconditional act. Okay, so it's not like you're doing something and expecting something in return. That is love. You don't do it. You don't do that intentional act and expect the person to reciprocate. No. That is you. You love the person, so you get to do all of that actions. And if the person loves you, that is when the person reciprocates those actions. That's just what love is, simply. Now, the next thing I have here, sorry, I wrote most of this down. The next thing I have here is, how can relationships last? Now, these questions I wrote down are common questions that, people have asked over time. Now, how can relationships last? How do you maintain relationship? Now, the first thing I always say is that you have to be sure. The first step is that you always have to be sure. You have to be sure of what you're getting yourself into. Ask yourself those questions, those very important questions, and don't be scared of getting those answers. Now, you can either ask yourself those questions or ask your partner. Not either, but there are two ways you can ask those questions. There are some questions you ask yourself, and then there's some questions you ask your partner. So, some of those questions you ask yourself. Examples: do I love this guy? Do I love this girl? Can I do anything for this guy? Can I do anything for this girl? Am I ready to spend my life with this guy or girl? Those are the questions you ask yourself. Now, the questions you ask your partner: do you love me? Are you willing to stay with me? Now, that is what love is. Love is your ability to stay. Now, in answering all of these questions, we're going to be dropping, something of, a keyword for love. Now, another keyword for love, we've gotten in this particular question is that love is your ability to stay. Get it? If you don't get it, forget about it. Okay, so love is your ability to stay. Now you have to ask yourself and also ask your partner, are we ready to stay with each other? The trials may come, temptations may come, situations might arise, but it's your ability to stay that actually matters. It's what strengthens the love actually. Because when you come out of that trial or that situation, you find out that things are actually better. You find that, which brings me to the next point. You find out that you've learned your partner better. Now, the next point is scrap everything you think you know about love. Oh God. Scrap everything you think you know about relationships and expectations. I tell you, when it comes to human beings, when it comes to things that has to do with human beings, human behaviors differs. If there's anything I learned in my 4 years of studying political science and human behaviors, is that the patterns are different. No two human beings are the same. Okay, so one person, you might follow up one person in this particular way. I trust you, if you follow up the next person in that way, you have a very bad result. Because, okay, so let me just hit the nail on the head. Your guy is not your ex. Your babe is not your ex. I mean, they are two different people, so you don't treat them the same way. And it's hard to say, but you don't compare them. That's the truth. Try as much as possible not to compare them. So scrap out everything you think you know about love, about relationships, about the love business. Scrap out everything you need to know. You cannot measure two humans the same way with the same yardstick. Every human is unique, different, special, and extraordinary. So you have to start learning again each other's characters, learning how to cope with your new partner's flaws, learning how to cope with their excesses, learning how to cope with the fact that they might be better at some things than you. Yeah, most people have that issue. So learning how to understand that sometimes they're better than you in some things. So deal with it. Be happy that you even have someone like that. Okay. And then there are other things you need to relearn. You have to learn your partner's bodily functions. You have to learn your partner's body. This is when it comes to sex. You have to learn that person's body. What makes the person tick? What makes the person, tick? What triggers the person? You also have to learn the person's emotions. Oh God, that is like the most important thing. You have to learn what the person likes and dislikes. You have to learn what might trigger depression for your partner, because you do not want to be the source of your partner's problem. Okay. Now, another thing is treat your partner like the way he is. Like, treat him special, treat her special. He or she is special. He or she is different. So treat them just the way they are, special. Another thing is to respect. Oh, okay. So this one, when it comes to guys and ladies, it's actually different. Now, guys demand respect, while ladies demand emotional presence and investment. I know it's funny, it might sound funny, but it's the truth. Now, guys are just brought up that way. They're just that logical that they feel like, okay, I'm a man, I deserve that respect. Give it to him. Give him that respect. Now, respect doesn't mean since you're a Yoruba person, you wake up in the morning, you greet him, hello, good morning, sir. When you're going back to bed in the night, you greet him, good night, sir. That's not the kind of respect I mean, okay? I mean respect in every aspect of your life. Now, when men say they want respect, they actually want you to be sensitive to their emotions. They don't want to have to tell you how they feel. They expect that you know it. That is actually what I think some guys mean when it comes to show me respect or give me respect. Okay? And then for ladies, emotional presence and investment. That is how we were formed. Ladies are naturally emotional beings. Females, that female gender, they're naturally emotional beings. Okay, so you have to ensure that you're emotionally present in her life. you have to ensure that you invest your emotions. Now, most ladies, no, ladies in general, like it when their guys match up their energies. Yeah. So match up each other, which brings me to the next point. Match up each other's energies. That's how you can maintain your relationship, actually. Because it's not actually good for one person to be up here, way up here, and then the other person is way down here when it comes to energies. I mean, it's draining sometimes. So try as much as possible to match up your energies. And if you're having issues that you can't solve, you communicate, which is the most important part of this whole question, the most important solution. Communication. Communicate about anything and everything. Tell the person about your day. If it has to even get to the point where you have to tell the person, oh babe, I'm in the toilet right now, I want to go and shit. Do it. Communicate. Be more involved in each other's lives. Okay, this brings you guys close. You ensure you know what your partner is doing at every point in time, and ensure that your partner knows what you're doing at every point in time. Tell your partner about your day. And then another thing is to spice up your relationship. People are very keen on this spice up your relationship thing. Now, they say when love fails, what keeps the relationship going is friendship. Okay, so you have to be friends with your partners first before you even become lovers. And then spicing things up, coming to the era of spicing things up. Do new things. Be crazy, be creative. I mean, it's your lover. When I say be creative, I don't just mean in bed. I also mean emotionally. Engage crazily. Okay, so do things out of the norm. Do things that you guys wouldn't normally do on a day. Not like you despise those things, but you don't just think of doing them. So just do them. Try new things with your partner. It's actually always fun to try new things with your partner. Okay, so if you're the type that doesn't know how to really cook, like moi, so you can get your partner to be your test pig, your lab rat, your guinea pig. Okay, he or she gets to try out the dishes you make. Okay, so it's fun when you see their face just crunch up. Okay, so that's that. And the most important thing that I want to say is that love is a game. But the only difference between this game and every other game that you know of is that this particular game doesn't come with any manual or instructions. So you just go with the flow. That is it. There are no rules to this game. There are some people that I know that they dated for like 7 years and they didn't end up together. And then those same people carry on to meet other people that they just meet they just get to know for like 6 months, 3 months. And the next thing you're hearing wedding bells, and then you ask, I don't understand. The person you dated for 7 years, what happened? Like, how come? Was it that you just decided to waste your time, or you had already planned from the onset to waste your time? But the thing is, the answer to that is, there are just no rules to this game. So just go with the flow. Don't hold back when you want to love. Don't hold back. That's just my advice. Don't hold back. If there's anything you have to give it 100%. Be involved. Be in 100%. Which is why I said the first step, which is know what you want. Know that this is what you want. So once you're sure that that's what you want, just go all in. Lay all your cards on the table. Now, the last question is break fast, as Nigerians would say. Break fast. How do you cope being alone? Yeah, how do you cope being alone? There's something I'm keen on, which is masturbating. I didn't say masturbating, I said masturbating. Now, this is where you take yourself out. This is where you date yourself. You get to know yourself better. I mean, you get to know what that other person saw in you that he or she was no longer seeing in you, that now made them, want to opt out of the relationship or so. So that's one of the ways you deal with breakup. You master date. You date yourself. Take yourself out. Enjoy your own company. Okay. So another thing you do is you self-love. Love on yourself. Some people will say, I'm loving on myself. I'm loving on myself. So do that. Okay. Love on yourself. Get yourself gifts. Get yourself presents. If there's something you wouldn't ordinarily do on a normal day, just because you made your life revolve around your partner, do them. For instance, you don't go out while you were in a relationship. You were not the type of person that socialized a lot. Do that. Socialize. That is how you cope being alone.